Alex was a 17-year-old teenager, bright and full of potential, but like many teens today, he struggled with focus. Every morning, his alarm would ring, yet instead of getting up to start his day, he reached for his phone. Social media notifications, messages from friends, and the lure of endless videos kept him glued to the screen. 30 minutes would pass, then an hour, before he finally dragged himself out of bed. By the time he sat at his desk, his homework was already waiting, unfinished, and the deadlines were closing in. He wanted to concentrate, he truly did, but it was as if his mind had 1,000 little tugging hands, pulling him away from what mattered. School was a constant battlefield. While his classmates focused on lectures and assignments, Alex found himself distracted. He doodled in notebooks, drifted off in daydreams, and glanced repeatedly at his phone under the desk. Teachers noticed his wandering attention and tried to encourage him, but he often ignored their advice. Mr. Clark, one of his teachers, was observant and kind. He recognized that Alex was not lazy, just overwhelmed by the constant pull of digital distractions. Even at home, Alex's parents reminded him to focus on his studies, but it felt impossible to resist the endless flow of notifications, messages, and games that promise instant entertainment. The consequences began to show. Alex failed a test that he had studied for, not because he lacked intelligence but because his focus was divided. Group projects suffered because he procrastinated until the last minute. He began to feel frustrated with himself, questioning why he couldn't simply concentrate. "Why am I like this?" he thought. "Everyone else seems fine. Maybe I'm just not capable." These thoughts made him anxious, and his self-confidence took a hit. Small moments, like losing track of time while scrolling social media or realizing he hadn't started a homework assignment due the next day, built up into a heavy sense of defeat. His friends noticed the change too. While they could relax and enjoy activities without stress, Alex felt weighed down by unfinished tasks. The conflict wasn't only external, it was internal. He wanted to be disciplined, to achieve his goals, and to prove to himself that he could succeed. Yet every day, he found himself falling back into old habits, the instant gratification of distractions winning over his desire for long-term success. The story paints a vivid picture of a common struggle among teenagers and young adults today. Alex's daily life, filled with distractions and small failures, immediately creates empathy. Viewers recognize themselves in his situation, the pull of social media, procrastination, and the frustration of not reaching their potential. The tension builds as Alex's grades drop, his confidence wavers, and his anxiety grows. The audience feels his pain and becomes emotionally invested, wondering if he can overcome these challenges. By the end of this section, the conflict is clear. Alex is trapped in a cycle of distraction, longing for focus but unsure how to regain control. The stage is set for transformation, and viewers are eager to follow his journey from struggle to success. This section establishes the emotional core of the story, showing both the relatable struggles of modern life and the internal battle every young person faces when trying to master focus. After weeks of frustration and disappointment, Alex finally decided that something had to change. He realized that his distractions were not just harmless fun, they were controlling his life. That moment of clarity was painful but necessary. He wanted to regain control, to prove to himself that he could focus and achieve the goals he had once dreamed about. He began with small, deliberate steps. First, he turned off all unnecessary notifications on his phone. The constant buzzing and flashing had been a silent thief, stealing his attention without him even realizing it. Next, he created a dedicated study space, free from the chaos of games, social media, and background noise. It wasn't easy at first, and he often relapsed into old habits, but each small attempt strengthened his determination. Mr. Clark, noticing Alex's newfound resolve, offered gentle guidance. He shared simple yet powerful strategies: break large tasks into smaller, manageable goals, use a timer to focus for short periods, and reward progress with small treats or breaks. Alex applied these techniques consistently. Some days were harder than others. There were nights when he still scrolled his phone too long or procrastinated, but he kept returning to his plan. Slowly, the fog of distraction began to lift. Completing even small tasks on time brought a sense of accomplishment he hadn't felt in months. Each completed assignment reinforced his belief that change was possible. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but persistence paid off. Alex began to notice improvements not only in his academic performance but also in his self-confidence. He approached assignments with clarity and purpose. His friends noticed a difference too. He was more present, more reliable, and happier overall. A turning point came when he finished a major school project ahead of schedule. The pride and satisfaction he felt in that moment were immense. It wasn't just about the grades, it was about proving to himself that he could control his mind and his time. This success motivated him to maintain his new habits and strive for further achievements. Emotionally, this part of the story evokes hope and relief. The audience sees that struggle does not define the outcome. Effort and strategy can lead to transformation. Alex's setbacks make his progress relatable, and his victories inspire viewers to believe in their own potential. The narration emphasizes his internal growth, showing that focus is not simply a skill but a mindset that can be developed with patience, discipline, and support. By the end of this section, the story reaches its motivational peak. Alex reflects on his journey, understanding that mastery of focus isn't about perfection but about persistence. He has learned that distractions will always exist, but with conscious effort, they can be managed. The moral is clear: anyone, regardless of age or circumstances, can take control of their attention, overcome obstacles, and achieve their goals. This conclusion leaves the audience with a powerful sense of empowerment, encouraging them to take immediate action in their own lives. Alex's journey from chaos to control is a compelling reminder that focus is a habit, and habits are built step by step. His story demonstrates that transformation is possible even in the face of modern distractions, offering inspiration and practical guidance to students, professionals, and young adults seeking to improve their productivity and self-discipline.